We have a handy on your left. Leonard. Oh, let's go with Wernette. Leff. We're going to confirm that because I don't like getting people's names wrong. On the right, Infect Affinity, round 4. We shall be underway momentarily. I like that hat. I wouldn't wear that hat, but I like that hat. You like that? You don't wear hats, do you?
I
don't think so.
I have a black and white Devils hat I dust off every now and again.
Wernette Leff. There you go.
I'm reaching this uncomfortable convergence of age and baldness for hats.
It's time to it's time to shave it off, man.
It's rare that I go and do that.
There's a Verdant Catacombs. Anything else here for handy? Good. I think I see a Glistener Elf over there. It'll be a Glistener Elf. Down to at least 19, potentially 17, thanks to Breeding Pool. As we head back over to Wernette Leff. Blinkmoth Nexus, Mox Opal, Ornithopter, Signal Pest, pass the turn. It's an affinity start. 4 permanents on turn 1, not bad.
And already the difference between Blighted Agent and the things that can be blocked is presented.
Yes.
Affinity has a lot of tools to manage the blockable threats, even the ones that fly.
Looks like land number 2 is going to be Windswept Ether, and it will. Here comes Glistener Elf. Infect counters are up. No blocks there from Leonard. So 1 Infect.
That represents a really explosive hand here from Wernette if he's not willing to even put an Ornithopter in front of the Glistener Elf.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that.
I imagine this is going to be a big turn.
Arcbound Ravager, Master of Ethereum, Galvanic Blast in hand here. It's a good hand.
Very good hand.
Looks like it might be a Ravager. No, it might be going to Master. Okay. These creatures are larger now. Well, that looks like he wants to get a little aggressive with the way that he is kind of leaning towards these creatures here. You got to remember, Infect can kill someone as soon as turn 3 very easily.
And I think this also may explain why Wernette Leff was not willing to block with the Ornithopter last turn. It's a lot better to tender the block when you actually have power when it forces a pump spell. It's a really aggressive line.
It really is.
Because I do not want to block with Master and Ethereum here, and you can just die from this spot. I think I would have preferred holding back at least 1 blocker. You want to attack with 1 thing? I'm down. Both? Because if handy attacks, I mean,
I don't know if you can say no blocks.
Right. And if you block, then you're trading one of your best cards here for 1 pump spell. Now, if you block with a 1/3 Ornithopter here, that I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I'd love a block with a 1/3 Ornithopter.
This, I mean, if you blocking looks shaky and not blocking, I think looks shakier.
Not blocking looks worse. Not blocking looks worse. Because you die to many combinations of cards. Yeah, there's a Groundswell. If he did not block, he would have died. Groundswell plus Vines of Vast would have killed him. Now Groundswell has its landfall trigger, so it's a 5/5. Yeah, so dead. That's fine. I mean, Master of Ethereum is a 4/4. Yeah, I would have much. You know, you've traded a Groundswell for a Master of Ethereum. I would have rather Ornithopter or Signal Pest go to the bin.
The other route there was last turn. You could have just played the Arcbound Ravager. If handy attacks, you can say, I'll block with the Ravager, And if she plays a pump spell, you have a Galvanic Blast, or you can just let it go.
Yeah,
and move the counter
fine.
over.
Yeah.
You're going to attack. If you want to attack with both last turn, I think I would have just preferred Ravager and leave up the Galvanic Blast.
Yeah.
But Leonard's position is still quite good here, as Handy has not been able to find a Blighted Agent. He's got a lot of different routes available to him to how he wants to manage this one threat, because blocking is so easy.
He's got some things to think about. You see his battlefield there, the Ornithopter, the Signal Pest, Mox Opal, Ink Moth, and Blink Moth Nexus. We know he's got a Ravager and a Galvanic Blast in hand. Looks like he's going to play that Ravager. We'll start with a counter here in just a moment.
It seems like Wernette Leff is looking at ways to attack. Like, he's concentrating a lot on how he can attack. And I just don't think it's that important right now. Handy is essentially drawing to her Blighted Agents. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You can manage this game in a variety of different ways. As long as she doesn't find a copy of that card, all your routes are good. It's so hard to attack. So I would be less concerned about trying to figure out a way to squeeze out a point or damage or two here, because your position is going to be overwhelming, assuming that you don't die and assuming that Handy does not find a Blighted Agent.
There's a Misty Rainforest.
I mean, it looked like he really was going into the tank last turn, trying to think of a way to attack for 1 or 2 points of damage, and it's okay to just let that go for now.
Oh, there's Blighted Agent. That's public enemy #1 in this matchup if you're an Affinity player or an Affinity fan. Here's Galvanic Blast. I think we might see a Spell Pierce on this.
Yeah, this is a big win for Handy. Being able to trade a pump spell for a Galvanic Blast is okay, but you know, you'd prefer not to keep your pump spells.
Mm-hmm.
Trading a Spell Pierce, that's a big win.
That was a big W, folks. Breeding Pool is going to be the land. Looks like Cranial Plating in Wernette Leff's hand.
All right, well, all you can do is race. So
at this point, yeah.
Handy down, I believe, to 2 cards in hand.
I think 1 is a Groundswell. With Misty Rainforest in the battlefield, that means that the landfall trigger can be active.
Yeah, just go ahead and put a plating on your Signal Pest and
cross them their fingers.
Yeah. I don't think the Glistener Elf changes the math at all here on any sequence that kills you, because you're taking 1 Infect for sure, that gets you to 2. And I think all the spells in the deck deal 4.
Besides Become Immense.
Which is 6.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that the Glistener Elf changes about the math here. She's either got you or she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you can even dial up the Ornithopter here and attack if you want to.
Yeah, if you want.
It's an extra point.
Well, this kind of just demonstrates that every decision that you make over the course of a game kind of adds up, right? Because, well, he's got an Infect right now where I don't think he should.
Yeah.
You know, from that attack on turn 2 with the Glistener Elf, where he had an Ornithopter he could block with, he elected not to.
And it's such a big difference here, because if he's at 0 Infect, Handy needs 3 spells or Become Immense instead of just any 2.
Now, Become Immense was the draw. Yeah, you're tapped out. Yeah, I'll show you Become Immense and Vines of the Vastwood, and that'll take care of that. So Handy's going to win game #1 here over Leonard Wernette Leff, as Infect is up a game against Affinity, thanks in part to the power of Blighted Agent. We're going to get to the sideboards here in just a moment if these players go that way, but first, a few words from our sponsors. Look at the sideboards here for Handy and Wernette Leff. We're going to start with Leonard, who's got 2 Etch Champion, 2 Graph Trigger's Cage, 2 Gear Pow Aether Grid, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Thoughtseize, an Ancient Grudge, a Bitter Blossom. Haven't seen that one before. Dispatch, a Whip Flare, and a Wear Tear. A lot of good options.
Yeah, the Whip Flare, the Dispatch, the 2 copies of Gear Power Aether Grid all seem great here. You can talk me into Bitter Blossom in this matchup too, because your life total is not under any duress, and an endless sea of flying blockers is potentially very good here.
We'll take a look at Emma, who's got 4 Kitchen Finks, 2 Nature's Claim, 2 Relic Progenitus, an Apostle's Blessing, Dismember, Dissenter's Deliverance, Dispel, Graftricker's Cage, Spellskite, and a Viridian Corruptor.
The Nature's Claims and the Viridian Corruptor, the Dissenter's Deliverance, those are I think the easy ones to bring in. I think there's arguments for Apostle's Blessing and Dismember potentially as well, but the anti-artifact cards are very easy to bring in.
Yeah, pretty good options there for both players, so they will finish sideboarding and shuffling up, and Leonard, Wernette, Leff will be on the play for game number 2, and we are going to talk about everybody's favorite promotion by StarCityGames.com. It's game night, my friends. We're in the month of January. It's Kitty Cat.
So you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/game night, find the game night closest to you. Every month we come out with a new kit with pins and tokens that we send to the stores that are signed up. These stores can then run game night however they want to, any day of the week, any format. Just get players in the store on a regular basis for some fun and friendly magic. This January kit we got right now is String Theory and a couple more coming down the pipeline that I have not seen yet. The Fast and the Curious, because it is a merger of the Fast and the Furious franchise and the Curious George franchise, the monkey, and then in March we have Two-Toed Spectacle.
It's a sloth wizard.
I don't understand the magic reference.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Sloth wizard.
Go.starcitygames.com/game night. Find the game night closest to you, and stores if you want to get signed up for game night. Contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
For the record, the artwork there is show and tell.
Oh, I get it.
You get it now? Yeah. It's a sloth wizard.
Okay.
And sloths are cute.
They are.
Can you have a pet sloth? Is that a thing you can do?
I don't. Not that I know of.
Okay. Like I would like to entertain that conversation.
Also, it's probably not the best pet to have because you just think it's dead all the time.
That's yeah.
Doesn't move.
You can check on that.
But that's like walking in the room and just every single time you see your pet being like, I can't tell if that is alive. I don't know.
Ronnie Rittner looks like he's getting ready for a deck tech. Is that true? I'm talking to you. Yes. Okay, thank you. All right. Jeez.
He's trying. Ronnie Rittner is trying to respect the sanctity of the fourth wall.
I understand that. I understand that.
Certain broadcasters.
That's correct. I just want to make sure. Did you win this round? He did not. Oh boy. He looks like he wants out of here. Oh boy. It's not good. That Asphodel deck. I think there's something there though.
That card's very powerful.
That's a really powerful card.
Very powerful. And how many Abrupt Decays are floating around in the metagame right now?
People are actually working that card out of their decks, out of their black-green decks. Right. The more and more we go, which I actually think is just kind of right.
Well, two mana is a lot when you can pretty easily kill stuff for 1 mana.
Yeah.
And the Del threats, it doesn't line up the right way. Mm-hmm. And how good is Uncounterable? Uncounterable removal is really only good against Death Shadow. And it doesn't. Abrupt Decay doesn't kill a lot of their cards.
Yeah, it only kills 4 of their
so there you go.
10 or so creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, obviously having the ability to and the flexibility to kill random permanents and stuff is pretty nice, but it doesn't handle everything.
Right. That's why you see, if someone's playing Jund or Abzan, they have a copy or 2 in their deck because it's just good and flexible for mid-range decks. But people are not bending over backwards to play 4 in their deck right now. Yep. It just doesn't line up the right way against a lot of the top decks in the format. It's also really rough to be playing with the big mana strategies being so prevalent, because Abrupt Decay has almost no targets against those decks.
Yeah, you play against a deck like Eldrazi too, you can't really kill anything.
Right. Or Scape Shift.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they have some Prismatic Omens. There's basically nothing to kill. So
Abrupt Decay on a bit of a decline. That's actually one of the fun things about Modern, too. Abrupt Decay is a card that you used to see a lot of play, now it sees less, so you can actually build your deck and say that, oh, I think most people have actually just cut Abrupt Decay, so I'll play some cheaper stuff.
But it's not like you're in the clear. Every opponent you play against could potentially have. It's not out of the question your opponents have Abrupt Decay. It's part of the range. But decks and cards kind of go up and down based on what removal is prevalent at any one given time.
Mm-hmm. Handy, Wernette, Leff. Game number 2 about to be underway. Got more Rivals of Ixalan cards to talk about, and also it's almost time for mailbag.
Mailbag?
Yeah, people asking their questions, we answer them. A little Q&A, a little AMA, a lot of different names for it. Mox Opal, Darksteel Citadel, Mem Knight, that's a pretty good start. See, because there's 3 art. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Steel Overseer on turn 1. That's a
how do you
good
feel,
start.
How do you feel about Mox Opal? Are you getting tired of that joke yet?
What, it being banned?
No, just the experience of the card.
Totally fine with Mox Opal. Okay. I'm actually totally fine with it. Here's a Noble Hierarch. Foil. It's just, I don't know. People are allowed to have good cards in their deck.
Sure.
So what?
It's fair.
People are allowed to have great cards in their deck. To me, it's not more offensive than Chrome Mox.
Yeah, but that card's banned.
Yeah, so I'm not like Chrome Mox. Oh,
boy, no.
Yeah.
Well,
no. I think this game might not last much longer. I think there's a very high chance of that.
Handy has some amount of enchantment removal in her sideboard, but even if she has it, this is really problematic.
Yeah, you better have it
now.
Now, yeah, because Gear Power Aether Grid is not messing around.
And it's not like Steel Overseer is the easiest card for this deck to beat either. It doesn't
true.
play a whole lot of creature removal.
It's true. There's a Verdant Catacombs in the passing of the turn. The grid is like when the grid is good, it's like unbeatable.
Right.
It's like unbeatable. And Handy is in some real trouble now. Going to need to find some sort of enchantment removal spell first. And then, you know, while worrying about that, going to be taking some beatdowns in the meantime.
Yeah, realistically, even Spellskite isn't really a workaround here because it's so much life to try to keep a small creature in play through this card.
Okay. There's a Cranial Plating. Spell Pierce is timely.
If I'm Wernette Leff, I seriously don't care if that card resolves or not.
That's fair. As long as everything he continues to cast is an artifact, what chances are they will be. Then I would feel just fine about things. There's a drum, it appears.
And with the drum, you can cast, I believe the last card in his hand is Signal Pest. Get that on the battlefield, and your Steel Overseer is ready to go. And you've got 2 artifacts should the need to shoot something for 1 emerge.
Pendelhaven the draw. That is a Viridian Corruptor. Okay. Steel Overseer is going to pump up the squad. Not going to need that die because Steel Overseer is about to die. That's okay. That's okay. Pass the turn back.
I mean, it's something. It at least slows it down and gives Handy a little bit more time to find some of her enchantment removal. But this Corruptor should not be long for this world.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, Inkmoth Nexus was the land that was played by Handy. Let's see what this is going to be. I'm going to guess an artifact.
I believe the draw step was a Vault Scourge.
Powerful. Yep. Wernette Leff will pay 2 life to play the Vault Scourge. And I want to kill that Corruptor while my opponent's tapped out. That's my preference. One, two. I would have preferred to leave a flyer up, though, if I could. Just because the Inkmoth Nexus, like, it's not impossible that he dies.
Oh, I think the sequencing there, well, yeah, I think that he needed to tap his Nexus to cast the Vault Scourge, because you could actually die from that slot if Handy has Mutagenic Growth.
Yeah.
And then a hand.
Yes. Mutagenic Growth become immense. Like,
right. You can actually die from the spot he was in.
Now, Emma's hand does not appear to be particularly good at the moment.
I don't even know if she has. She does have 4 Mutagenic Growths in her deck, so it's there.
Let's check the sideboard, see what's going on there. Yeah, my concern, because Become Immense is actually in hand, my concern right now is with the way that Leonard sequenced everything, he should have a Vault Scourge as a blocker because he attacked with Memnite.
Yeah.
So he should have a Vault. He could. Should is too strong. He could have a Vault Scourge as a blocker to ensure that he does not die this turn. Now Inkmoth Nexus is getting fired up. A Pendelhaven activation. This is a Become Immense. So that's 8.
Yep.
So if there's Mutagenic Growth, the game is over? Oof.
You would have seen Mutagenic Growth last turn, though, most likely. But yes.
Yeah.
Could have been the draw step easily.
Yep. So Wernette Leff may have gotten a little fortunate there. Have to tighten it up a little bit.
Well, it's the same. It's largely the same critique that I had from the previous game, where it seems like he's really focused on getting in a point or 2 of damage here, when I just don't think that's what the game is about. If he's able to you know, maintain this Aether Grid and have some blockers back, it is. I'm not saying impossible, but it's really hard for Handy to work around that. If he gets a little sloppy, it's not like, okay, I take some damage and stabilize next turn. It's you're dead.
Yeah.
You don't come back. And it's strange to me here because it's not like the cost in your clock is that high. If you just say go, and Handy doesn't do anything, you just shoot her with the Aether Grid.
Yeah,
you're not losing that many points by being a little bit more cautious here.
Yeah, I would want to take a much more conservative approach if I were Leonard right now because of the grid.
Right. If it was one of those things where, well, I you know, there's all these draw steps that are bad for me and I need to close the game out, that'd be one thing. That's not where we're at right now.
Yeah. There's another Blink Moth Nexus. We're gonna fire up a Nexus right now. Just gonna come in here with Signal Pest plus the Nexus. So that's gonna be 3 total. It's got 2 activations with the grid right now. Glistener Elf was the draw.
But 2 activations off the grid isn't even that much because Handy can go, activate my Nexus, tap Pendelhaven. You got to go right at that moment.
Yep.
And it's not that hard for her to have a hand that plays around multiple the 2 activations there. I mean, I guess it's unlikely, but it's not out of the question.
It's not impossible.
It's not out of the question.
I will Pendelhaven this. All right. That may have bought her an additional turn.
I doubt it, because now he can attack because of the Signal Pest battle, the battle card trigger, and her being down to 1 blocker, and the fact that he can leave up and you know 2 artifacts to be able to ping something. I think she will likely die this turn.
Wernette Leff going to survey the board a little bit here. Get a good look at the battlefield. He has been taking a very aggressive slant to things. Trying to figure out if there's a way for him to get this game over with this turn or not. It'll be the attack there for 3 again. Two from the Nexus, 1 from the Pest. Battlecry, of course, triggers and won't target, or excuse me, will not affect Signal Pest itself.
I'll say this, I'm not a huge fan of leaving yourself with an odd number of artifacts back.
Yeah,
you're like working multiples of 2 here.
Yep.
Probably safe to send in the Memnite here because the Memnite can't block, and it doesn't change the number of artifacts you have.
You gotta remember, when you're playing Affinity, you're just playing one big math problem. That's all you're really doing. When you're attacking, when you're casting your cards, a lot of it is just one big math problem. So, you know, that's another aspect of it where with the grid, you know, we're working on multiples of 2.
Because that Memnite there is worth 3 points of damage. There's a 2/2, and then there's the battle card trigger. That puts, if Handy says no blocks, that puts her to 1, and you have Aether Grid in play. So she is compelled to block if you send in the extra copy, if you send in your Memnite there, and it doesn't disrupt your Aether Grid at all, because you go down from 5 untapped artifacts to 4. So and it can't block, because the 1 threat that Handy has is a flyer. So I think it was really, if you were going to make that kind of attack, I think my preference might have been just to say go, leave yourself with the maximum amount of responses possible to Handy trying to kill you. But if you do want to attack, once you're down to tapping, leaving yourself with 5 artifacts, you might as well go to 4, and the Memnite can't block anything anyway.
Another copy of Become Immense to draw. A Fire Pink Moth Nexus. All right, here I come.
So I think that starts with putting your Vault Scourge in front.
Yes. Yes.
It is hard for it to go too wrong.
Yes. Trample is really not a thing for Infect. And handy is, if you do this, she'll probably just flat concede.
Yeah.
She's hoping for Leonard to make a horrible mistake, basically. That's the out. Yeah, that was the out, and that did not hit, but you got to try. So Leonard Wernette Leff is going to win game number two, excuse me, here over Emma Handy. Affinity, in fact, going to get ready for game number 3, which means we are going to get ready to hear a few words from our sponsors. Player gets 10 poison counters.
That happened, yeah.
Player controls 5 more artifacts or enchantments.
That happened.
Yes. I am 1 away from bingo, folks. Invocation cast or on the battlefield.
Ooh.
I don't know the invocations.
So let's try to think of what the reasonable ones are. Blood Moon.
Okay.
Could show up. Thoughtseize.
Thougeize, yeah.
Spell Pierce, is that one of them?
I think so. That sounds right.
Spell Pierce. Is Damnation one of them? Sounds like it would be.
That sounds like that would be an invocation, yeah. That would be a bingo right away. Boy, life comes at you fast. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I got to say it, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you're ahead by quite a bit.
Yeah, pretty good margin.
Still keeping my fingers crossed for multiple retreat to Coral Helm triggers in one turn also. It's not enough for it to be in one game.
One game, yeah. One trigger in one game would just be, that'd be reasonable and fair. You're not going to get that either.
No.
You're not going to get that either. This is a hard knock life here. You know that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that up here. Let's see, what are we going to take a look at? We got any creature collection stuff for old String Theory? Anything for that? Our newest member to the StarCityGames.com creature collection. And it's available now, Patrick, in playmat sleeves and player bundles. You know where to go.
Go.StarCityGames.com/creature collection.
Yeah, pretty cat. Little play off of One with Nothing.
Do you actually need to put in the go dot? Does StarCityGames.com/creature collection get you there?
You need the go.
This is like back in the 90s where ads had, go over to www.
Well, the go.StarCityGames.com/creature collection just makes it a little bit easier too, like to remember. Like it just kind of rolls off.
Go to StarCityGames.com. Gotcha.
Yeah. See, you get it now. And then, like, if someone's watching this broadcast, like, kind of want to figure out where to get String Theory, but I can't remember go.StarCityGames.com/creature collection. Now I remember.
Gotcha. Okay.
There you go. Playmat Sleeves Player Bundle String Theory. Get it at game night all January long too. One with Meowthing. A mulligan for Leonard. Gonna be working on 6 cards here momentarily.
Those 2 games there are really good capturing of the difference of Blighted Agent and not.
Yes.
There you go.
World of difference.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Having Blighted Agent is easy mode, or at least easier mode. So we take a moment to learn a little bit more about our Infect player here. Emma Handy, a 26-year-old from Asheville, North Carolina. Just one open top 8 on the resume. A lot of close calls. I expect to see more here in 2018. Has qualified for nationals or better in 7 different card games. Can play any musical instrument in a rock band. And, well, who isn't?
Who isn't a Lady Gaga enthusiast?
Who isn't? That's not special to anyone. That could be on everyone's player slide.
Right.
That is Emma Handy. Currently 3-0 here.
Even I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a little impressed.
I've seen her in concert.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Staples Center a few years ago.
I did not expect that. How was that show?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm not big on Lady Gaga. I'm actually not. I listen, but like as far as my rankings for artists go, not very high on my list. Doesn't do a lot for me.
She's very high on my list.
She doesn't touch Pink. Not even close.
I think Pink is awesome too, but
not even close. Plus, Lady Gaga's like kind of in hiding right now. I feel like I haven't heard from Lady Gaga in years.
If I made $1 billion and was surrounded at all times by scumbags and grifters, and going out into public was a gigantic hassle because you were immediately surrounded by like thousands of the the paparazzi, who are the absolute, just the worst humans you could imagine. They're the worst people. Yeah. They're the worst people.
They're not great.
I would hang out at my house all day long and drink Yoo-hoo and play Xbox with my friends. And just have a Scrooge McDuck vault that I occasionally swam around in.
Okay, you've got it all planned. Yeah. You've got it all planned out. I like that. You have a bold strategy in front of you.
Right.
I would have replaced the Yoo-hoo with Simply Lemonade Raspberry, but I'm right there with you.
Right.
And that means I would die from diabetes in about a week, but that's fine. Actually, I wonder what's worse for you, Yoo-hoo or that drink? I don't even know what it's in Yoo-hoo. I'll tell you that much. It's not milk. It is not milk. Noble Hierarch is feeling it on this attack. Just a 1-1-2 into a bunch of O2s? Let's do this. I'm so confused.
I'm not a huge fan of this attack from Handy because the pace of play in this match has been a little slow for my taste.
Okay.
And I don't want to put the opponent in the tank over one irrelevant point of damage.
It's like, that is just right into O2s, just no blocks. I'm just, okay. These Ornithopters, they don't block for Leonard. Are they going to team up with Signal Pest now? Let's see what this is. The drums. All right, Battle Cry. How do you like it? Here's a Vault Scourge. See an Apostle's Blessing over there. At least one copy of Accompaniance, maybe two.
Now, Apostle's Blessing can name artifact, correct?
Let's take a look.
If so, that is a big game.
Let's take a look at Apostle's Blessing.
As a way to punch through all manner of blockers.
Yeah. Let's learn a little bit more about this card together. Inkmoth Nexus going to come in here with an Exalted Trigger, by the way. That'll be 2 Infect. Target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of your choice until end of turn. There you go.
It's another way to punch through. That's a big deal here. Because, as we've mentioned, the non-blighted agent threats, it's tough to get them to connect.
There's an Inkmoth Nexus for Wernette left. Cranial Plating is a powerful magic card. Cranial Plating is going to resolve. It looks like the Vault Scourge is going to wear the hat. Along with Signal Pest, perhaps? Looks like Wernette Leff can get a little bit more aggressive here. Handy start, not very impressive at all.
You can still just die here.
You are not wrong.
It takes so little to die from the spot.
You are not wrong. Nature's Claim, going to take care of Cranial Plating.
I was going to say, if this is just, all right, Nature's Claim or Ornithopter.
Untap, kill you?
Yeah. Good news there for Wernette that Handy decided to go after the Cranial Plating. Suggests she's expecting to play a couple more turns at least. Doesn't have lethal rolled up.
Nature's Claim will have Wernette gain some life. Vault Scourge will gain a little bit of life here. A little bit of damage will be dealt, all that good stuff. And we're going to go back over to Emma Handy. Going to untap those 3 permanents and draw a card. The fetch land's probably the best draw. Mutagenic Growth's okay.
Mutagenic Growth here, I think a really good draw because Handy's hand is a little clogged up, and I think Wernette has not shown a lot of respect for the possibility of Mutagenic Growth in the previous games.
And hasn't seen it in the previous games. Yeah. Well, you didn't block, so you died. Emma Handy's going to win this match here over Leonard Wernette Leff. 2-1. Infect. Took care of Affinity. No Blighted Agent needed.
Did not show the appropriate respect for Mutagenic. Just got killed.
Did you say no blocks? Okay, then we're done here. That is Infect at its finest. That's what that is. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm a handy 4-0.